All right. So I apologize. Episode 219, this episode right here with John Colbert or John Colbert. John Colbert sounds, anyway, my bad. I'm the reason it's late. Me, Greg. So if you don't like it, ping me and talk shit. Otherwise, enjoy this ride. Let's go.
Welcome.
Wow.
This talk with John Colbert. He's a family man with a plan, but he's got a kind of dark humor, sort of fun side to him too. And the further we got into the interview, the more he kind of got richer and interesting. And I really enjoyed hanging out with him and talking with him. And he's been through a lot, but he brings humor to it. And he brings this lightness and a reminder that we are capable of shaping our reality in a really powerful way through our sense of humor and our love of humanity.
Yes. So enjoy this ride with John Colbert, whichever part of his life you were a part of. And subscribe, support Compton Cowboys, Blast, drink Adrenochrome Cola. Thanks for riding with us. We appreciate you being a part of what we're doing. Enjoy the ride.
Sis, hallo?
Blijven.
Stuur zeker wegen dem.
Joh je iets niet, joh.
Sitaki ubenza, anika sirikie.
Two outlaws on the lam, taking the back roads through America.
You can't drink enough coffee for this show.
And now it's time for Monday Madness with the Moped Outlaws, Greg and Marc.
And we're live with another episode of a survivor, John in his youth, Colbert, but he's allowed us to say Colbert. John, welcome to a ride with Moped Outlaws.
Awesome. Thanks for having me.
It's our pleasure.
Where are you in the world, sir?
I'm in Pennsylvania in the suburbs of Chester County. Yeah, my wife is from the area, so this is where we ended up.
And have you ever smelled the inside of a wampa?
No, I haven't. I'm sure it's horrible, but yeah. Yeah, you know the toys behind me.
Yeah, people may not notice in the audio world, but there's some really great, what looks like original Star Wars Kenner toys behind our guests today. And that really inspires me, being a Star Wars fan myself.
Yeah.
So,
hey, wait, I have a question. John, would you consider yourself a Star Wars geek?
I think I'm amateur style. I just love toys and vintage stuff in general. I got into as a kid, I didn't have much Star Wars. I had more like G.I. Joes because I was born in '81. But then recently as an adult, I started seeing them at thrift stores. And I was like, ooh, because you can get, now when you thrift, you can get all the things you never could as a kid. Now I love them. Yeah.
I consider Marc like an expert Star Wars trivia knowledgeable person. Are you okay if he throws out a couple test questions to kind of test the merit of your knowledge?
I don't know how he can. I don't know how well I'm going to do. I'm
first of all, to put me out as an expert is a failure immediately because I am nowhere near expert. Although I have a fair amount of knowledge and exposure, right?
He used to be the archivist with Lucasfilm, so
at Lucas Licensing.
Wait, really?
Yeah, so it was literally my job to collect all of the contractual samples of all the merchandise on a global basis for 21 years. What? So I had an 18,000 square foot archive of everything, starting from like the 70s through all of the prequels. God. And then right after Clone Wars ended and the Disney sale happened, Disney decided to move everything to LA, and I didn't want to go to LA. So I pivoted at that point. But yeah.
Do you have any of the toys still? Do you have anything?
I had the world's biggest commercial collection as part of my job for a year. And so my desire to have it personally isn't much. But right behind me, which you can't see very well, is the Ark of the Covenant.
Okay.
So you might be able to see that. Well, yeah. For whatever reason, it's not showing up. But I have a few select things that I keep around. Nothing is within arm's reach at the moment. I used to keep my Luke's lightsaber right over here, but
Oh, that's sweet.
it's in a box now by my desk.
I've almost bought a lightsaber like 100 times off TikTok. I've almost caved and gone there. But my son is 6, and he started watching Star Wars like a year or so ago. He got into it, and then he got into like Lego Star Wars. So that was a fun phase because it gave me an excuse to like buy toys, which was nice.
Well, one of the things I noticed about your work in prepping for the interview is there's this element of humor that you bring into it. And there was a piece of Star Wars that's got that element of humor. And I'm wondering if you could talk a little bit about how that's important in what are really serious programs, advertising programs, why humor is such a powerful tool.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up in a pretty comedic family, pretty inappropriate. It got kind of loud. I had all older siblings too. I didn't have any siblings my age. I didn't have cousins my age. I was always kind of like the little kid. So I had to kind of like learn to have a sense of humor to kind of get people's attention. But my dad was more sarcastic and my mom was more silly. So I kind of learned those two different sides, which is nice. But then as I grew up, I always didn't think I was that comedic. And then the older I get, I feel like I am compared to most normal people. Like when something gets really serious and everyone's like reflecting, I'll think of a joke. And then I'm like, okay, you're not normal. Like some people are like thinking serious right now and you're thinking of a joke, but it's like a survival trait. I mean, it's in my book, but it's like dealing with my dad passing away. Like we have such a good dark sense of humor, and I think if we didn't have that, like I don't know how we would have gotten through it because it really helps to just find the humor in things. And working in advertising, yeah, I mean, yeah, like it just seems like the world just constantly gets worse. So it's like that's why I do a lot of silly videos on social media because like. It helps my mental health because I kind of like selfishly I'm trying to make myself laugh, but then it's like seeing people's reaction really makes me happy. And when people go online, like there's some people that really want to see the news and serious stuff, but a lot of people just like want to laugh and they just want to break. So that makes me feel good. It's nice, you know?
Yeah.
So what sparked you to write this book that you had this information and experience? And you thought, hey.
Yeah, I always wanted to. I got in advertising. I went to school for film. And then long story short, I ended up in advertising and worked my way into copywriting. And over the years, it was just really hard to do humor in advertising. It was always like 15% of my time would be getting to work on something funny. And I always thought like, oh, it would be cool to do a book like David Sedaris, Chelsea Handler, like something where it's like these true stories that are humorous about their family life, just their everyday life. And then my wife and I on our honeymoon in 2018, we went to Bali and we saw a healer. And the healer said, whether it's true or not, it's fun. But the healer, like we showed up and he's like, your dad's here. And I was like, what? And I just like kind of lost it. And I started bawling, crying. And it was fun. It was like funny because like, he just kept going and telling me these things. And even if it's, not true at all, it was like fun just kind of believing in it. But my wife and I were both cracking up because we were like, she was starting to get teary too. And we got back from our honeymoon and I was like, that's what the book should be about. It should be about these humorous, like wacky situations that I've been dealing with because my dad's dead. Because there were moments just over the years, and it's a small but close family. Like my mom is named Pookie. She's kind of a character. Like there's just like good banter that I wanted, that I think some families don't always have. But yeah, and I also my family, I was raised in a very TMI family. So if something bad happened, you would tell everyone about it. So that's why I was like, well, I got to write this book because it was like 20 years of annoying bad things. So yeah, I want to do more books, but that's just the one that I felt like I had to start with. So,
well, just to be clear, the title of the book is Damaged Goods, and right. Damaged Goods is a blend of humor and raw emotion, capturing the absurdities of life in the face of loss, from the awkward encounters with clueless neighbors to the horribly uncomfortable binge walking of shockingly sexual Diane Lane movies with his mother. What's this book like? How long was it taken to get to create it? How long did it take you to get there?
It took so long. It took 7 years from we got back from our Bali Moon. I started writing, and then it literally took 7 years until this past June I published it. But it also took so long because we moved from California to Pennsylvania. We had 2 kids. We bought a house. So I'd put it off for 3 months at a time. So it was just a really slow process. And then I hired an editor, and I'm a copywriter. So I was like, oh, I've done like 10 drafts. This thing is perfect. And my editor was like, it's great, but it's not perfect. So like,
right.
She gave me like a 15-page recap. And I was like, I almost gave up. Like, it was so long, but she was amazing. And, I just took it like note by note, and that really, really tightened it up. But yeah, start to finish, 7 years. So
well, congratulations on achieving that, sticking with it, and persevering. One of the things that's mentioned is this idea of there's a new take on the 6 stages of grief. Do you want to give us a little preview of that without giving away the whole book?
Yeah, I don't know if people are familiar with the stages of grief, but it's like
denial, negotiation,
anger.
Like, anger is very real. Yeah, anger is a big one. So my editor had the idea. She was like, oh, it'd be kind of fun the way you have these stories. And it is kind of like a hero's journey, because it's like my dad dies, like, things get really rough. I rise and fall. And she was like, it'd be cool if you organized it and you did your own stages. So I basically took those stages and rewrote them. And I made them kind of more silly. I put some F-bombs in there. So I kind of just put my own spin on it. Like, you kind of live in the past. So that's where I have stories about my dad, fun stories about my dad growing up, because me reflecting on my life with him after he passed. So it's kind of nice that it frames up all my stories in these nice little sections, which is cool.
Do you think you've had an experience since his passing of sort of re-knowing him, sort of taking these pieces that are now frozen in time, there isn't going to be any more,
right?
And reflecting, and he almost grows as an individual, or you see elements of his individualism that you didn't see while he was alive?
Yeah, that's a good question. The book was really hard at times because I was unpacking things that happened when I was 20, and I had like no emotional intelligence, which was kind of a blessing at the time, because I was just like, oh, whatever. But now in my 40s, I'd be writing and just crying at my computer because I'm like, oh yeah, this is effed up. What happened? Like, because when my dad was passing, I just kind of assumed that all my friends' parents would be passing shortly after. And then as the years went on, I'm like, oh, your dad's still around, huh? Like what's happening? Like, I'm like, yeah. I'm like, wait a minute, you're both parents? But yeah, it was really cool because and also I had to do research. I had to bug my sisters and my mom and get stories about my dad. Like it was cool. I have 3 sisters, which is crazy, and 2 are older, 1's younger. And the oldest one, she had some cool stories about my dad. They're not in the book, but it was just like interesting because I didn't really know my dad when he was 40, my age, which sounded kind of cool. I kind of knew him more like in his 50s when he was older. But it was really fun, like just hearing like the parties that he would throw and just like what he was like when he was younger and like more energetic, and more silly. So that was cool. But it was nice because it got me to reflect on the good times with him and not just always think of him like sick with cancer, battling chemo. It was fun to like look back on like the Nantucket stories because we went there a lot as a kid. So that kind of thing. So yeah, it made me appreciate him more. And then also it made me see certain traits that I had that I didn't think I had, but that I do actually have from him, which was interesting. The good and the bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we're all a product of those things, aren't we?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Have you seen anything in your children that is a kind of echo of him?
My son Jack, who we named after my dad, he's a little bit of like a little performer, kind of like how I am, kind of how my dad was a bit, and kind of my mom too. I think a little bit, yeah. Got the toilet humor, but every like little boy has that. But it's funny. My dad was like he looked very classy. He worked at a law firm. He'd wear like polos, but then he could have a pretty gross sense of humor. So it was like a nice juxtaposition, which was
Brilliant.
nice.
I love that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Irreverence is an inoculation against our own sense of self-worth.
Right. Yeah.
Here.
So what's the next book? You were just about to talk about it when I interrupted with the description of the current book. What are you thinking about for the next book?
That's a good question. There's definitely so many different like themes or worlds I could do. I lived in LA twice and it was really long. It was just a weird experience. Like that could just be an entire book of stories. I went to all boys prep school for a bit in Massachusetts. Like that could be, 12-year-old boys, like, going through puberty and like, playing with fireworks and like doing stupid stuff like that could be something. So I don't know. I have to think about it, to be honest. But I definitely want to do it again. And it's so nice because I learned so much from the first one that the second one wouldn't take 15 years like the first one did. So yeah, I know. Seriously, knock on wood. But now I have a great editor. I just know like I would know how to, start off better. So that would be good. And we're done having kids. Knock on wood.
Knock on wood.
Yeah. So I think, we're not moving for a while. So I think all those big life changes, would help keep it moving a little quicker. But yeah, that's a good question.
Did the pandemic affect you? It sounds like you and your wife like made this major life change to the East Coast in the midst of the pandemic.
Well, right before, but then we were pregnant with our first child, like right as we gave birth in 2019. Excuse me, she gave birth. And then COVID hit. Yeah. She did all the work. And then COVID hit. So yeah, that was interesting. But then we were house hunting during COVID, which was like the market was crazy. But yeah, just all these big things kept coming up. And I'm a freelancer, so work would get really, really busy. And again, it was a heavy, the book gets a little heavy at times. It was a heavy thing to work on. So sometimes I just wasn't in the mood. I was like, I'd rather make a silly video on Instagram right now than work on this book. So that happened. If I'm being honest, that happened too. Like there was times when like, because books are such a long form medium that if one thing you have to change can take hours. So sometimes I just didn't have the like strength or energy to dive back in. But yeah,
if I'm wondering, because behind us all is the cover of your book, and what we don't see is the little character in a rowboat as this giant wave is about to crush them. And you've talked a bit during this ride of you breaking, how hard it was.
Mm-hmm.
Are you comfortable diving into that a bit of what that experience was?
Yeah.
What you've learned from it?
Like where I almost broke and didn't finish the book, or just like crying when I was writing it.
It sounds like there was an emotional break in a sense where life shattered. As Leonard Cohen said, the cracks are where the light gets in. But experiencing those cracks and shattering is a trial. And
I think I was also just so hungry as far as my career. Like that was a strong motivator in finishing the book. So even when I faced that insane report from my editor, and again, she's amazing, but like that was daunting. Like she laughed about it, but what kept me moving was I was like, work was getting slow, and I was just, and advertising again, I don't get to do all the humor I want to do. So I was like, I have to finish this effing book. So I was very hungry career wise to get it out there and be like, this would be, this could be a cool career pivot or something, or just going to do more stuff like this. And I'm also, I think I'm also just kind of crazy. Like, I think some people would have been like, you know what, this isn't healthy. I think I'll just table it. And we tried, and I was like, fuck that. But I also just felt like I also was so priced in. Like I when it's like year 5 and I'm like looking at these editor notes, I was like, I've already spent 5 years, and part of me was like, what if this is 5 more years? But then I was like, yeah, but if you do 5 and then stop, like that sucks. And I'd already told people about it. So sometimes people would ask about it. So I was like, shit.
So there was pride involved.
Yeah, that was a mistake. Like, don't tell people about a project until it's done, because I was like,
unfortunately, you've already mentioned your second book, so
I know. But I would tell people about it, and people like love the idea of someone writing a book. So they would follow up about it, and I'd be like, so I'd be at like on a trip with people, and they'd be like, "How's the book coming?" And I'd be like, eh. So that was a thing too, that I was like, shit, I can't just let it disappear now. Because so many people start projects and don't finish them. I was like, I can't be that guy,
What I noticed about your career is with a BFA in film, it seems like creating a visual piece is like easy as a hot knife through butter for you. I mean, easy is probably not quite the right description, but writing a book is much less in your wheelhouse, right? And so talk a little bit about what Colbert Studios is been up to and what it's currently up to in the visual medium.
Yeah. So I started a small agency, Colbert Studios, because I freelanced for agencies and I wanted to kind of have more control over things. So we did a branding project for Mass Prostate Cancer Coalition last year, which was cool. And I got involved with that because my dad actually co-started that when he was fighting cancer, because he was in Boston, and he was like, there's no like support. He's like, men don't like to talk about feelings. So he like, started this group, but he also was like, the research on prostate cancer is pretty bad. So I was not involved, to be honest, I was not involved at all with them for like 20 years. And then recently I saw some stuff they did, and I was like, oh, it just looks like they're a great organization. It just looks outdated, like their website, like really simple stuff. So it's really cool. Like I got involved, and I hired all my friends, and we just basically rebranded and did like their website and did this whole new campaign. That was really fun. And then we've had a couple projects this year, but nothing's officially kicked off. But yeah, I mean, Mark, that's a good point. Like when I make a video on Instagram, it's like, oh, I'll do this and I'll make fun of my wife who's always on Amazon. It's like, it's like a really simple thing, and it might take a week and then it's done. But with the book, it was like so much more of an intellectual process. Like it was much more, you had to focus harder. Editing, it's just so visual. You can like look for a cat meow, and then like, I don't know. It's just like, it's not as it doesn't take as much concentration. Writing is so much concentration. I had to like do a productivity app and try to get like an hour a day. It would take me like a half hour to focus, and sometimes I get angry if like the phone rings. I'd be like, no, because it took me so long to focus. But yeah, you're right. It's like the visual things are definitely kind of right. They're not. Yeah, they are. And they're kind of just more fun, but the writing is cool because when I would work on the book, there were sometimes when I would get in the zone, which was like euphoric, because you would block everything out, and all of a sudden like a half hour or 45 minutes would fly by and you'd like snap out of it. And it was like such a cool feeling.
That was a flow state for sure.
Yeah, it was really cool. Because I have ADD, so it would take a little while for me to get in there. But once you get in there, like, and I always felt so good on days I wrote. I always just felt like, I don't know, like more at peace, which was nice.
Would you like to do more with Colbert Studios? If that was is that a growth opportunity for you in terms of revenue and like vivacity, excitement in your life?
Yeah. I mean, I would love to have more projects. I'd love to do more comedic thing again, like our whole thing, like Mass Prostate. We presented two campaigns, and one was comedic, and one was more serious. I did position it though as like we specialize in humor because that's just my favorite thing to do.
Well, and what's not funny about butts?
Yeah, prostates. Yeah, I'd love to do more with that. I've just been finding it as a dad, just juggling it all gets challenging. So now,
but what would be like your ultimate client? Like if someone was listening right now and they wanted to come into Colbert Studios, what are you looking for there? What would be like your ideal experience?
I think probably a product like some consumer goods, like a spike seltzer or chips or
Adrenochrome Cola.
What is it?
Adrenochrome Cola. It's manufactured under a pizza.
Oh, okay.
In the basement. They're the sponsor of Moped Outlaws.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, because I've done a lot of fast food. I like doing like consumer goods because it's like the messaging is usually pretty minimal. You can get more creative. You can have more fun. It's not really serious. Just like, yeah, here's good soda. So that's like my favorite stuff.
So we're going to tie this all together. Hang on to your helmet.
Yep.
You've just been tasked with the Mando and Grogu gummy bear candy featuring little Grogus that you eat. What's your campaign?
God, I mean, usually I have more time than like 5 seconds to come up with a campaign. I'd probably think of strategy first and then probably write a brief. That's how we usually do it the best way. Yeah,
that makes sense because you really have to make the most of the value proposition for the client and make sure their dollars go right where you need to.
So just in an elevator, what's the strategy for that?
I don't know. Maybe it could be something like something absurd, like it puts you in a different realm or a different universe or something like that. Maybe it's about escapism. I don't know.
Here's what I like.
Yeah, I have no idea what you both are talking about right now.
So Mandalorian and Grogu is the new film coming out in Star Wars in 2026. It's about the young baby Yoda and the not Boba Fett bounty hunter. Anyway, Grogu's known in these situations for trying to catch food, right? Trying to get food. And in the trailer for the film, he actually tries to use the Force to steal Sigourney Weaver's back box of chips on her desk. And if you haven't seen that, I highly recommend you watch the trailer.
They tied Alien into a Star Wars movie?
Not Alien, no, just Sigourney Weaver. Anyway, but
Mark's like,
here's the pitch. Because he's always trying to eat stuff, he reaches for the gummies that are little baby Grogus. Yeah. And he picks one up and he looks at it and he goes, and he puts it down. And then your byline is gummy bears, the only snack Grogu won't eat.
From a galaxy far, far away. Keep it there.
Exactly.
I hope that one will be good because the first season of Mandalorian I thought was incredible. So I wonder how that'll be,
Well, most of the disappointed, the people who are pre-disappointed in the Star Wars universe, I've come out pre-disappointed already. And so the film's not out yet, but I guarantee you it's going to flop. It's terrible. And, that's just my take on it. No, I'm just
Marc's
kidding.
Yeah.
I'm the opposite. I'm that guy that goes, "Oh my god,
you like everything?" Yeah, that's nice. I'm jealous. That's a nice place to be. I just I like things like earlier. Like I love the old Star Wars. I love Mandalorian season 1. I'm trying to think what else. I think there's too many spinoffs. But
so it's got to be like the used universe. It's got to have some grit, some actual gravitas to it. Hero's journey.
I like the original character. I like the original characters too. Like when Luke came back in that one scene, my head exploded. It was awesome.
Got it.
But yeah.
Didn't it leave you hanging though? You were like, hey, what? Because the credits just rolled right on top of it.
I know, but it was so good. I know. It was good.
So what other things are you doing? Like we talked about Colbert, the Colbert agency, and what other things are you working on besides your publications?
Right now I'm freelancing for an ad agency in LA, and we're working on Google, which is cool. I can't tell you exactly what we're doing, but it's fun. So that's what a lot of my bread and butter is, freelancing as like a copywriter. So I'm doing that. And then I also freelance on Taco Bell part-time as well, like writing a lot of their copy. When I lived in LA, from 2015 to 2018, I freelanced a lot there. So now I still keep in touch with them, and that's fun. So I write like emails and promotions, like $10 off for Father's Day, and I make it sound like clever. So yeah, and then just like, and when we have two kids, a dog, a house. It's just always stuff. There's always stuff to do. Yeah,
the
like
copywriter do list is long.
I just like tomorrow I have to cut the front in the backyard. There's always something, you know?
Yeah, that's real.
Well, and in Pennsylvania, that's a big lawn.
Well,
yeah.
And, part of, we're talking about these passions you have and stuff. And I have 3 children of my own, and they're all pretty grown now. Okay. I'm very grateful, though it kept me pretty poor. I'm grateful I was around for most of their life. I really support you and your wife making those choices, because that's the thing. Like that soccer game, a year from now, it's not there for you anymore. And if you weren't there, and they notice, I think our children just want us present.
Yeah, growing up, my dad had to work. Again, he works at a law firm. He'd come home at like 8 every night. Like he came home pretty late. I'm really spoiled that I work from home, and sometimes because I'm remote, there's not as many gigs because people are like, oh, you need to be in New York and LA. But because I'm remote, when I do get work, I can make that 5:30 soccer game, which is awesome. Because in advertising, when I used to work in an office in New York, I would not leave before like 7 p.m. So if I was working in an office now, I wouldn't see them. So it's been amazing. Yeah, it is really nice. Sometimes I lose my mind because working from home, like, the dog's barking outside, like a repairman knocks on the door, and I'm like, it's just like, I just want to focus on work. But me being home is really nice because I do get to see the kids when they come home, or I can help get them out in the morning.
So in past situations, you might be in a writer's room with several other people, and you'd workshop a whole bunch of ideas and come up with like 10 great, potential brand phrases, right? Now it seems like one of the ways to do that is using LLMs and AIs. And I'm wondering, as someone who's a professional, who's established with a reputation, are you utilizing that tool as a way to keep your competitiveness, to kind of create your own writer's room and a little bit more depth to your brainstorming? Or are you eschewing and like staying away from it? What's your take on this? From a
last year I was very anti-AI because everyone was like, people that weren't creative were like, it's amazing. And then all of us creatives were like, stop talking about it like it's taking our jobs. But now I'll use ChatGPT to like tweak an email. Like I'll use it for like, or I had AI give me a supply list because I threw a book party and I was like, how much booze do I need for these 4 cocktails? That's when AI is amazing. I don't think people should use it to like always brainstorm ideas or write a book, but like use it for like the lame stuff. Like how much booze do I need for my party? If I have 50 people. But now, and I, as a freelancer, I'll be on jobs where they'll just say, we're going to make this video with AI, and I don't have a choice. Wow. So I just try to like go with the flow. I think it's really, I think when I have to concept, I won't really use it to brainstorm ideas. I definitely won't use it to come up with like campaign ideas, because the problem is like if everyone does that, then everyone's gonna have the same like ad campaigns, like so. And also, I don't want that part of my brain to like deteriorate. Like I want to keep it fresh and just always. And that's what's tricky too, is like people coming up in creative industries. I hope they're getting that practice of brainstorming and not just like ChatGPT, give me like 20 stunt ideas to do for Coca-Cola, So, but I think AI can be helpful for certain things for sure.
And do you have like things? a core group of fellow copywriters that are like your brat pack or your rat pack, or guys and gals that you like hang with and get together and spitball ideas with and stuff like that?
I wish. I mean, now, like when I lived in New York is where I lived the longest. I was there for 10 years. And it was a lot of like, we'd go to happy hours. It'd be a lot of advertising, like copywriters, art directors. And same with LA, it'd be a lot of creative folks. Now in PA, it's way more mixed. My friends have all different occupations. But I still will text a bunch of people, or like I will reach out to friends that are like a fellow copywriter or stand-up comedian, and I'll just be like, is this idea funny? Like for like a social media video. So I'll do that too. That's the only thing that's weird about being remote, is you don't have those people like always around you, you know. But
have you ever tried stand-up comedy yourself?
I did in New York. I took a class, which was really fun. And then I did some open mics, and it went well, but it was hard with my advertising schedule. The open mics, you had to be there at like 5, and I could never get there. But I think it'd be fun to kind of do it again at some point, or I'm kind of hoping like promoting the book. Maybe I can be in some panels or do something where I can just make some jokes on stage. Who knows, you know?
Are there open mics around where you live right now?
It's a good question. There's probably some, yeah. But yeah, we'll see.
What's funny about prostate cancer?
The exam is really awkward. Well, the old school exam is very awkward.
That's so funny.
That's like been a lot of the jokes over the years, right? Like lots of comedians have made that part of the way they talk about it, right?
Yeah, that part sucks. But the first time I had to get that exam, I was like 21 and I was extremely hungover. It was like Friday morning at 8 a.m. in college, and I was so hungover, and I didn't know what I was getting into. Like,
surprise!
This was pre-Google. This was pre-Chat GPT. You couldn't just be like, "What happens when you get a prostate exam?" So I had no idea, and they probably told me like, because I booked it like 3 months out. But I showed up, and they were like, "Get ready," and I was like, "What?" Yeah,
here it comes.
That's a bad
it was a male doctor. It was so awkward. But now, like now you could just get like a PSA blood test. It's a lot easier.
That's what I do. Yeah,
honestly, I miss it. That's what's funny about prostate exams for you, ladies and gentlemen.
Just someone touching you.
Yeah, it's important that we find these things, though, right? I mean, that's sort of one of the premises of your work, is that somewhere in this mundane and sort of tending to be human, dark, trials and tribulations, humor provides us with the magic, momentary escape and seeing our way out of things.
Yeah, I think also it helps raise awareness. Like you and I just let's just talking about how awkward the prostate exam is. Like other people know, like, oh yeah, I got to get my prostate checked. Like I got a colonoscopy like a year and a half ago, and I was telling everyone how amazing the nap was that I took during it. Like, and I was like,
they gave you a drug though, right?
Yeah, they did. Yeah, but when I woke up from that nap, I felt like I was 22 again. Like it was incredible.
Did you get cleaned out first? Was that part of the deal? Like, of course, they give you that medication that has you like
they flush you.
Yeah.
Well, you have to take all the stuff like the day before. So you're taking like laxatives. Yeah. Honestly, the worst part was just not be able to eat, not be able to snack. And it showed me how bad I snack, because I was
being in the restroom for like 18 hours of a 24-hour day.
Yeah, that wasn't the worst. I mean, I had my phone. That wasn't the worst. Not be able to graze in the kitchen, just like grab like, peanut butter pretzels. Like that was the hardest part.
So it's Pittsburgh Steelers. It's Sunday. What's your go-to snack?
I don't know. Like anything salty, chips, anything salty. Big salt nut.
We have this thing on the West Coast called Trader Joe's, which is a kind of specialty store.
Yeah.
And they, in the fall, they have this salted maple popcorn. And it is amazing. And last year it gave me diverticulitis. And so I can't eat it, but I saw it this year and I'm like, oh my God. But I remembered the pain and discomfort.
Well, there goes our Trader Joe's sponsorship.
Well, it's not their fault.
Trader Joe's is amazing. We actually are getting one near me soon, which is nice.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they have that spinach, like Greek or yogurt dip. That's insane. The burritos are really good.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm excited.
So then maybe they could be your new campaign.
Yeah, you're right.
You should go by there, talk to their manager or whatever.
Yeah. Just at the store. They'll be like, I have nothing to do with that.
Well, the personal experience is going to be more and more the thing now that we're in the digital hyper age.
Yeah, you're right.
You think so?
I do. I think that people are really, really hungry for connection, and the thing that they think they're getting, which is actually dopamine addiction in their phones, doesn't actually satisfy that nutrient. And so when you just show up with a little bit of manners, a little bit of courtesy, and some good humor, your Q score is through the roof.
Yeah. I'm at a point in my life where like I'll have a good interaction with the guy at the UPS store, and I'll be like, he was really nice. Like, I used to never care about that, but I just don't have a lot of social interactions anymore.
They're all with 3-year-olds and 2-year-olds.
Yeah, it's like a gym, grocery store, and then if I have meetings, I see people. But yeah, it's funny.
Got it. What would be like your ultimate retirement fantasy? Like, let's say 15, 20 years ahead of time, everything's handled. Boys got through college. You and your wife are loving hanging out together. What's your vision for that? Where are you? What are you doing? Are you going back to Bali?
I think somewhere tropical would be fantastic. I'm not good at it, but I love to surf. I love the ocean. So somewhere tropical would be incredible. I would love an apartment in a city like New York or something, because I love being able to walk to restaurants. I'm just talking about this like I have tons of money, but I think
what we're doing.
A beach area most of the time would be that's very like relaxing for me. Yeah.
Where'd you start surfing?
It was always on my bucket list, and I tried on Nantucket when I was like 30. I rented a board, like a 10-foot board, and I rode it's called the whitewater when it crashes. Mm-hmm. And I rode my first one, and I thought I was amazing. And then my wife and I, when we started dating, we did a couple trips. Like we did Costa Rica, and we did like a yoga surf camp. And then we did Puerto Rico, and we took surf lessons. She's good. She was a D1 soccer athlete. So she was actually good at it, but she doesn't enjoy it. But now we go to Outer Banks every year. That's when I get to surf. So that's a lot of fun. But it's my favorite sport of all time. Like it's very therapeutic too, like being in the water.
Right.
Sport of kings.
Do you ever have like dun 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 dun?
No. I've seen some seals, like in Nantucket, like a seal had popped up, and I kind of freaked out because I was like, "Where is there anything else around here?" But yeah.
So do you look down your nose at stand-up paddleboard folks?
No, I like stand-up paddleboarding. I think that's fun.
Have you ever tried
I like
that?
all that. I have a little bit, not successfully, but I like anything active. I love it. So, yeah.
And is your wife still passionate about football world, soccer in the United States, but football everywhere else?
No, she's from Philadelphia, so she'll want to watch a little Eagles here and there or Phillies. Like she just finds it relaxing. Her mom is most people that are born and raised in Philadelphia and never left are like diehard Eagles fans and Phillies fans, which is funny. I moved around so much, so it's like I never got super attached to one team. But no, Jill watches some stuff, but she's not like a big sports nut. But yeah, she was really good at soccer. She played D1 at Syracuse.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, I couldn't go to college for soccer.
And are you still a yoga practitioner?
Yeah, I haven't. I do some. I do like hot yoga, which is nice. Need to do it more of it. I just recently started going to a trainer to do Muay Thai boxing, like kickboxing and stuff. That's cool. And that is that just destroys you. It's insane. But that's been fun. Yeah, he'll hold the pad and be like, all right, 10 kicks on the right side. And you're just like dry heaving. Like yeah.
So like part of my experience with yoga is there's this spiritual realm to it of just energy. How does that play for you in your life?
Yeah, I'm not a religious person, but I do think I am spiritual. And maybe some of it's because I lost my dad. But I definitely need those things like yoga, surfing. I mean, even Muay Thai, which is not spiritual, like just getting my ass kicked of exhaustion just kind of releases everything. But I do think that I need that in my life, just to kind of calm the noise. And let me kind of just like step out of myself for a bit, yoga sometimes for me can be honestly like a little emotional. Because I don't know, sometimes if it's a good flow and you're exhausted and it's quiet and the music's good, you can sometimes think about things. Mm-hmm. So that gets kind of tricky. You don't want to like cry during a yoga class.
More power to you if you can.
Yeah.
What it's for. The tears are nature's detox, man, for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's Saturday afternoon. It's 5 p.m. Mm-hmm. You're wanting kind of a spiritual experience. Muay Thai or Mai Tai?
Oh, probably Mai Tai if it's 5 o'clock. Yeah. I'm a big cocktail guy. I like edibles too. I don't know if I can say that here, but I like
them. Yeah, you can. We are a full fuck yes podcast.
Okay. Yeah. So like today at 5, I might probably do a little edible and then I'll probably make like a Negroni or something and have that on my deck.
Sativa or indica?
I have to parent, but what'd you say, Mark?
Sativa or indica?
Oh, sativa. Big sativa
energy.
Fan.
Let's do stuff.
I like it because like honestly, even on sativa, like going to the gym at 7 a.m., like working full day of the kids, I still get really sleepy on sativa. So but it makes me giggly. But I can't imagine. Yeah, I don't know. What do you guys do?
Well, I'm 9 years sober from THC, so I don't do it at all anymore. I like the smell of it when I'm at band rehearsal.
Yeah.
Greg made a movie about it called The Money Tree back in the day.
Oh, really?
Yeah, back in 92. Well, I helped make it with a friend. It was his movie, and it was based supposedly on real life. He used to have a plantation on Mount Tam in Marin County.
Oh, wow.
And so it was about that. And it came out.
Is that Murder? Is that the same spot as Murder Mountain, that documentary on Netflix?
It might be.
Yeah.
There was a trailside killer that was on Mount Tam. Yeah. Yeah, same place.
Humboldt, is it Humboldt County or something?
No,
Humboldt?
It's about 3 hours south of Humboldt County.
Okay.
It's just on the other side of the Golden Gate Bridge. So it's the north side of the Golden Gate Bridge.
Oh, that's cool.
So that's your secret to beating ChatGPT, isn't it?
What?
Gummies.
I don't like, you can't do stuff and write. I don't care what anybody says. Like people always want to like romanticize it and be like, oh, do you like roll a joint and then just start writing? Or like, do you pour a glass, like a whiskey? I'm like, have you tried, like writing you have to concentrate so hard. You cannot like, your writing's going to be horrible if you try to do that,
Just to say, because there is a great writer who actually, George Carlin, and the way he came up with his routines is he'd do all his hard work, but then he said, then he'd light a joint, get high, And that would be the final juice to just lifting it up, that final piece.
That's true. I mean, it sounds like he's doing the heavy lifting. And then, I mean, I've done it, like I've done work at night when I had to work late. I've taken a tiny edible and I've like edited some things, and it just kind of helps take like the edge off a bit. But I think like long copy, like a book, I need all my senses.
Yeah.
So if by chance anybody who's still listening is happy to have you on board, how do people get in touch with you? What's the best way to reach you if they want to work with you freelance or get dad tips or buy your book?
You can email me. It's colbert@gmail.com, or find me on social media. The handle is It's Colbert. I'm on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook.
YouTube.
Okay, we'll put all of those in the show notes. For those of you that are listening, you'll be able to access all of those things. What a pleasure it's been talking with you. I wish we could do it more, and I'll just own to everyone who's noticing it's a little bit shorter. I have a thing I have to do. So one more question that we ask all of our guests, and it's pretty important to us. We actually put a lot of stock in the answer, and we consistently ask it because it's a very rich, rewarding experience to hear people's answers. Greg,
for us at least.
What's the question?
Eminem or Foo Fighters?
I think Eminem.
All right. How come?
Why?
I'm generally more of a hip hop person. That was also a tricky one because I'm not crazy about Eminem. Foo Fighters, I like some of their stuff. Was it Hero? I think that's one of my favorite songs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, I think I would go more Eminem.
What about Lil Wayne?
I used to love Lil Wayne.
Have you listened to his new album?
Well, no, I haven't. I haven't listened to his new stuff. No.
Brilliant.
Is it good?
It's really good. Yeah.
Oh,
really
it's good? Okay. I'll check it out.
Really good. One of my favorite songs. I think it's called Cotton Candy. Really good. Yeah. All right. John, it's been a pleasure. I hope we have some more rides together because it'll mean you have more books out, or maybe we just talk movies. Marc and I love film, and blessings to you and your family, and thanks for riding with us.
No, thanks for having me, guys. This was great. This is very nice.
Recording stopped.